From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is calling NDP leader Jagmeet Singh's pledge to bring down Trudeau's government a bluff, demanding that the House of Commons resume now to force the motion. Poilievre says Singh pulled the same stunt in September, claiming he'd no longer prop up the Trudeau government. The Conservative leader says Canada will have to endure months and months and months of what he says is total chaos if Singh gets his way and the vote goes when Parliament returns after winter break. The British Columbia Civil Liberties Association says the provincial and federal governments must review medically assisted dying legislation to ensure proper safeguards are in place. Executive Director Liza Hughes says the association is aware of concerning reports of people being offered MAID in circumstances that may not legally qualify. This follows the incident where a 52-year-old man received MAID while on a day pass from a Vancouver psychiatric hospital. His family launched a constitutional challenge last week to the procedure's legal framework. Businesses are getting a bit of a financial bump from the GST holiday across Canada, now almost a week into the two-month break. Canadian Press business reporter Rosa Saba says the owner of the Jack Astor's and Scottibush restaurant chains is reporting a fairly significant spike since the tax change went into effect.
He mentioned that, guests are coming in and saying, well, we just finished our Christmas shopping. We feel like we have a little bit more to spend because of the tax break. And so we're here having a restaurant meal to treat ourselves that we might not otherwise have had. And that's also got a tax break.
Restaurants Canada says it's hoping for an uptick in January and February when people traditionally stay home after the holiday. Authorities in the German city of Magdeburg say at least 2 people were killed and dozens of others were injured after a car plowed into a Christmas market.
A dramatic CCTV video shows a car plowing into a crowded Christmas market in Germany, with several people appearing to fall to the ground, others running away in panic. Emergency services are on the scene. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz weighing in, saying, quote, "My thoughts are with the victims and their families. We stand by their side and by the side of the people of Magdeburg." Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, at the Foreign Desk.
With a possible midnight government shutdown looming closer and closer, U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson is proposing a new plan that would temporarily fund federal operations and disaster aid. The plan would prevent the government from shutting down in the near future, but would punt Donald Trump's demands for a debt limit increase into the new year. The military tradition of tracking Santa Claus as he flies over Canada, the United States, and around the globe will carry on, even if there is a U.S. government shutdown. Some 100,000 kids are calling into the North American Aerospace Defense Command in Colorado each year to ask about Santa's location. Millions follow him online, and NORAD says it fully expects to keep Santa in their sights when he takes flight on Christmas Eve. Corporate sponsors and volunteers keep the operation going over the holiday. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Toronto Maple Leafs wrap up a 2-game road swing when they visit the Buffalo Sabres in NHL action tonight. The Leafs won the last meeting between the teams in Toronto on Sunday night, and Toronto's won 4 of its last 5 games, entering tonight's contest in first place in the Atlantic Division. The Sabres have lost 11 straight. The Montreal Canadiens are on the road to take on the Detroit Red Wings. It's the opener of a home-and-home series, with Detroit paying a visit to the Bell Center tomorrow. Montreal has gone 5-5 over the last 10 games to move ahead of a free-falling Buffalo and out of the Atlantic Division basement. The Calgary Stampeders have signed Canadian receiver Jalen Philpott to a 2-year contract. The 24-year-old from Delta, BC, had 66 catches for 659 yards. He also had 3 touchdowns and 15 carries for 115 yards over 18 games with the Stampeders in the 2024 season. It comes after missing the entire previous season with a hamstring tear, and he was a first-round pick in 2022. From the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.